Welcome to Starting and Lower Mediumship Messages. Here you can enjoy healings and navigating the reflection Spirit Medium Lower is a channel that
Hi, everybody. How are you this evening? Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for calling in. Thank everybody. And let's also thank the greater universe as well for being with us this evening. This show is also broadcast as a video. And if you go to the website for the show, spiritmediumtv.com, you will be able to watch the show live. You can also join the webinar. It's item 3 on spiritmediumtv.com. You can join the webinar where it says press here. And if you're in the webinar, if you take that plunge, you will get a priority in the queue after other side connections, donations, after those two things. This evening, I do not have any donations. I do have an other side connection. Vacation. Nobody else asked for that this evening. And besides everything I mentioned, everybody gets spoken to in the order in which you call. So I do my very best to get to everybody by being as succinct as possible. And if you all out there who are wanting a reading, and I pre-screened, I have enough people already, I'll tell you that. But if you do call in, that's fine. You're welcome. Maybe I'll get done early with everybody who's already called in. But have a question ready, okay? A question that Spirit can address will help speed up the process of you getting an answer and me moving through the queue. We don't rush here. We try to be thorough, but we also want to keep our eye on other people and their needs as well. Okay, so as I mentioned, there is a website for spiritmediumtv.com, and there you can get a myriad of resources, one of which I already described as live video of the show. And the second is you can actually make a donation, which is called the 8 No Wait. If you have an urgent matter that just can't wait, donate 8 and jump the gates. I think there's item 2 on that page. You'll see it there. At this late time in the show, I don't have much time to check for that, but I will check before I go to the messages. The order of the show is I'm going to go into focus subject in a moment, something that would be useful to most people. Then we connect psychically. I lead us through a little meditation, prayer, energy connection. Then I do a group channeled message, and then I go to the phone lines. Other side connections are usually first. I say usually because I just go with the flow, but usually they are first, and then I follow with life questions. So tonight's focus subject is my favorite subject of late. I've been speaking a lot about this. And it would have to do with joy, J-O-Y, something all of us want, right? We all want to be happy, don't we? Isn't that sort of the meaning of life? At least we think so. I remember when I was in my 30s, I said to myself, oh, I finally figured out the meaning of life. It's fun, F-U-N. Anyway, I do believe, the more I've been doing this work, that the purpose of life is joy. That's where our evolution comes from, our spiritual evolution. And it's the way we learn that God is real. Okay? It's the way we learn that limitations, or what we view as a limitation, truly is an illusion. And the only truth is the higher dimension of miracles. When you're learning that lesson, while you're still stuck in the muck of earth, you are evolving, and you have discovered the joy secret. So the joy secret is J-O-Y, which stands for just open you, what you really want. See, most of us live in a limitation of fear. Our ego is telling us what's possible, okay? But our soul is telling us what we really want, what's true to us, what we know is true and what we really, really want. And even though others may say that's silly, or you may say that's silly, what you really want, or you may think it's not possible. That word think is part of the limitation suitcase, limitation resource manual. Limitations are thinking things, not feeling things. Feeling things are miraculous. Feeling things come from your soul. So one of the first steps in activating your joy secret is to step into your feeling nature. How do you feel about this or that? What do you really want? Want will have a burning desire behind it. And there literally is a spiritual law called the spiritual law of intention and desire. And in my many years of practicing metaphysics and studying it, learning all about it, I have learned that when we have a strong emotion behind something, it's our soul giving us that extra impetus, that extra motivation, because it's right on our path for us. Within that desire holds lessons, holds evolution, and activates joy. So if you're ever wondering why the law of attraction is not working, you're probably going after things that don't really resonate for you because your beliefs are telling you it's not possible. So it's not that, it sounds very simple. The joy secret sounds very, very simple, but it's not that easy to get in touch with what you really want. So there's an article on my website. You can go to spiritmediumtv.com, and that will take you to the radio show page of my website. And you'll see right now there's an article on the sidebar called Manifesting Miracles Using Law of Attraction. And if you're listening to this at a future point in time, you can find the article by searching for it. A couple of rows above that, there's a search box, and just put in there Manifesting Miracles Using Law of Attraction, and click on the what do you call it, magnifying glass there, that little circle with the line under it. That's a magnifying glass to search, and you will come up with this article. And so it does tell you how to access your deepest feelings. It's a simple process. Journaling is probably the most effective one. Paying attention to how you feel is effective, but journaling helps put the spotlight on you, what you really want. So every day do a joy journal, so you can open yourself, open you, who you are, what you really want, and you start to put a spotlight on yourself. Once you figure out what you think you want for that day, what you feel you want is even better rather than think, because think is limiting again. Feeling is really miraculous. Then you can create an affirmation, a mantra, and a prayer from that. I'm not going to spend more time on that right now. Find the article, read it. If you want a private session with me, I worked with a client today using this, and she was actually worked with a number of times on the same issue, love, relationship issue. And she had this unrequited love, if you will. She was seeking love from an individual who was elusive, distant, and detracting, kept slipping away from her. And so we went into the whole joy thing for her. And by the time we were done together, she was giggling and laughing and happy as could be, and realized, which is what I'm kind of here to do on earth now, at least that's what Spirit's telling me, realize that she's much more empowered, that her joy is not dependent on that person giving it to her. What a concept. Joy is dependent on you giving it to yourself. So if you're in a situation where you feel very blocked, you feel depressed, you feel lonely, you feel you don't have something you need, money or love or whatever it is, instead of being a victim, start activating your joy secret. The joy secret. Start activating this power principle that you have within yourself to pay attention to what you want, and then begin to ask for it from God in prayer, affirmations and mantras, and through action, things you do to bring it to yourself. And soon you will find that your joy is not dependent on any old person, but you. And if you go for what you really want, Spirit's going to come in and support you because that is your life plan. That's your soul plan for time. Okay, got somebody in. I'm going to see who it is. I got somebody in the video. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Trying to find where she is. Hold on, everybody. I'm trying to find that page. Hold on 1 second. I just want to see who it is. By the way, whoever you are that's in there, you came in at just the right time. Alrighty then. Oh, I know what I need to do. Not that. All I need to do is this. Sorry, guys. There we are. We have Rochelle. Hi, Rochelle. So, Rochelle, I'm going to... Hi, I'm going to mute you, love, because we can hear you, and I'll get to you. I'm glad that you did that so that we have you in the webinar aspect of this. Is she muted?
You can hear me now?
I can, but I'd like to mute you. I'm trying to mute you. Can you mute yourself? Just press your microphone on your end, because I'm not able to mute you for some reason. Okay, it looks like you're muted now. Okay, love. Now I know you're there. And are you? Oh, Rochelle, unmute yourself for a second, love. I want to ask you a question. Are you here for an other side connection, Rochelle? Or are you here for a life question? You have to unmute yourself now. Rochelle, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you here for an other side connection, or are you here for your own life this evening, please? I can't hear you now. Oh, she's gone. Okay, well, if you come on back in, that'll be fine. I hope to hear from you. I don't have any other way of knowing other than if you answer me that way. I don't have a chat room facility. Oh, wait, no, I do. Thank you, Fly with Light. So if you can put it in the chat room or you can make more noise again in there, I'll just stop what I'm doing. I am now about to do the group message, everybody. And again, I want to thank Rochelle for coming in, but she's now disappeared. So, oh, and one other thing I need to say as I move forward into the show, that if for any reason I get knocked off, which used to happen to me a lot before I worked with Blog Talk Radio and fixed a few things. But if I do get knocked off, I will come back in. So just wait. I may call into the show using my phone, or I may come back in using Skype, which is what I'm using now. So no, not to worry. I would always be working on that. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is a prayer, energy connection, a meditation, prayer, energy connection, and then I will do a group channel message. So everybody listening to the show, if you please sit back, uncross your arms and legs, and start to breathe from your abdominal area. Everybody listening and everybody that's wanting a message, please do that. Sit back, uncross your arms and legs, breathe from your abdominal area, breathing in deeply. And exhaling deeply, allowing spirit to come in, filling your lungs with love and your heart with joy. Asking spirit to provide for you the guidance needed today to help solve problems. Perhaps it's medical in nature, perhaps it's mentoring. And the other thing is, if you want mediumship, connecting to a loved one in the spirit realm, please call in your loved one now. Have that person sit down with you. Kick their feet up on the coffee table and sit back on the couch. Okay, so while you guys do that, I'm going to do the prayer. I'll be back in a second. And now on your next exhale of breath, if you would please release into the space around you your energy. I will connect us. One moment, please. Okay. And so give me a moment to call in the ones for group channeled message. We are here. We are the ones. This evening, as usual, we will be speaking about love. We always speak about love from different angles and perspectives because joy and love are the most important aspects of abundance that you could have access to in this lifetime and in the earth realm at this time or this moment of time. Today is the time for love. There is no future, there is no past, there is only the now. And the now is the time to express love. If you are feeling abundant and filled with joy, you will be expressing love. That is what it is. Love is being in the moment and living in the joy quotient and the joy quadrant, the joy aspect of your being. Any moment that you are not in, when you are not transfixed within the aspect of joy, you are not living within the love quotient, within the love parable, within the love divine matrix. Each and every one of you has access to joy, and joy puts you in a higher vibration of love. It is the higher vibration of the spirit realm. We in spirit want to help and heal all of you as much as possible. We want to show you there is nothing to fear. There is no loss. There is no loneliness. There is only love. And in love with yourself is the first step to moving towards expression of universal love, which is coming from the joy matrix of higher realms. Ask yourself each day, what is it that you truly want, and take steps to bring it to yourself. After a while, you will create a habit of joy, and you will be expressing love. Love of self, love of God, love of universe, love of the mixture that you live within, the matrix that you live within. You are living within a matrix that you can malleate through the aspect of love. Do not forget this. Each thing that you see around you is not fixed. Each aspect of your existence can change, can shift so easily with love. This is what you are on earth to learn. It is to learn how to no longer accept what is, but rather align with what you desire, what feels joyful to you. The more you ask for what you want, the more you will have it. Namaste. Oh, what a nice message. Very lovely message. Let me just take a quick peek into, so I guess Rochelle disappeared because she's not there. I guess she couldn't hold the connection for some reason. But thank you, Rochelle. It was very, very joyful of you to take the plunge. Very joyful. And if I can't find you now, and if you do have a chance to go into the chat room, Rochelle, and say, my phone number starts with this area code. I see a few people put that in there. But if you can do that, I will give you a priority in the queue after the other side connection. But I need to see it in the chat room because I have no other way of knowing. I'm now going to go to Keisha, who is wanting another side connection. She's already told me with whom. Hi, Keisha.
Hi.
Oh, I'm hanging in there, as they say. I'm doing the love thing lately. I know the joy thing lately. I'm doing the joy thing. And man, I'm so happy it's disgusting. I know it sounds funny, doesn't it? But you know, the more I do this, right? The more I do the love thing, I call it the love secret or whatever you want to call it. The more I pay attention to what I want, the more aware I am becoming of my choices. And I'm starting to make better choices. And as I make little choices, like one of my habits before was sitting home a lot. And then I was going into feeling isolated, feeling alone, feeling depressed. So the more I pay attention to joy, the more I realize, well, what am I choosing that for? I can get my butt up and out the door. And the more I'm doing that, the more happy I am. And it's giving me a feeling of personal empowerment, that we're not victims, that we can actually make choices. But if you follow the joy secret, you'll have a process to use. So that's my little advertisement. I also want to say, before I go into your discernment, I forgot to say this before, that anybody who's wanting a private session with me as a radio show listener, you get a third more time free. Did you hear that? Free. That's a lot of time. That's like a 25% discount. So just go to booklaura.com, those who seek private sessions. And if you place in the event code field radio show as your event code, I will be alerted to that you heard about it here. And I will give you that extra time during your session. Okay, now moving to Keisha, who's did tell me that she wants to speak with her father because it's a birthday. I need to say that, everybody, because it's just ethical. You know, I didn't know that she wants a father. I didn't know any of that. Now, usually when we do mediumship, we don't ask for who we want because the energy has to come in of who it is. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get your father, but we'll see what that is. Okay, father. First thing I see is a slender person, tall and slender. Would you know that for father, please? Yeah, tall and slender. Would you know that for your father, please? Yes or no? Only yes or no, sweetheart. Okay, so now I want you to focus. And when I say, I'm going to say to you yes or no, that means only say yes or no for this part of it. We can get to more conversation later because I have to let them show us this. He also says something about, he likes hats, or he wore a lot of hats. Would you understand that for father? No is okay if he didn't, honey, but he just said that to me, he liked to wear hats. Okay, he loved hats. He says, and also he did like to smoke cigarettes for a while, but not always. Not always, but for a while he did smoke cigarettes. Do you know, can you please confirm, yes or no only, if Dad smoked at any point in time? All right, well, that's fine. We'll leave it at that. Because he looks kind of like sparkly, if you will, kind of like got a lot of personality. I do see a face. I see full lips. I see a slender jawline. I see a handsome man. Narrowness in the cheeks, narrowness in the cheek area, almost as if there's a dimple, but not a really dimple, just the fact that it kind of has got it's indented in the cheeks a bit, high cheekbones, but a narrowness and slenderness, very full lips, good looking man. Trying to see who I could liken him to. It's easier sometimes, you know, because you're only getting my words. I'm seeing him. Don't say anything, honey. I know you're dying to tell me something. Don't say anything. I want to see if I can get something that goes with that face. Well, I can't get it with the face. I just want to say what I see. I see what I see, and I told you what I see. Nice eyes, too. Clear and sparkly most of the time. Except, I guess maybe you tipped me off on this, but he might have liked to imbibe. Maybe it was just in pot, but he said something about his eyes were clear, his head was clear, but there were times when he wasn't clear, his head wasn't clear. So again, I don't know if you led me into that, which you said about smoking, but I just want to present that to you. He just said something, and he said it in a very conversational, colloquial way, which I'm not repeating because we're on the air. Okay, it's a little bit something. Okay, he was fresh. He was kind of fresh. He was real. This guy didn't what do you call it? Didn't hold back on what he wanted to say. But fun, lively, and I get a feeling of energy, music, dancing, liking life, loving life. He's this clear thinker for a while until he got a little older. Then he lost a lot of feeling good about himself. He lost his self-esteem, or he lost a feeling of being good, feeling good about himself. Things went downhill after a certain age, and he wasn't really there for you anymore. He was not there for anyone, actually. So a few mistakes he makes in his life. Would you understand that, please, honey, of going downhill as he gets older? Also, the number 28, the age 28 is important. I've seen it since he came on here, 28, 28, 28. I'm going to see if he wants to elaborate on why he keeps giving me that age or number. 28 is an important number for him in his life. That's when he had sort of a transition into a different lifestyle where he went downhill. That's a time when he started to go downhill. He says you were born before that age. You were born before he was 28. Would you know that, please? Yes or no only. Right. He also says, I love you very, very much, Keisha. There's also another name he places in this, as he goes to your name. He also gives me the name Christine or Christina. I have a feeling that either you are going to be named Christine, or Christine might be part of your name or something, but what, does that have any significance to you, Christine or Christina, please? Okay. Well, let the record strike. I got that name. I don't know where, why, or what. Maybe it's just Keisha and it came in warped. We'll hold it at that. Okay. Okay, hold on. He showed me a few things. Got to make it clear, Daddy-O. He's showing me a couple of things that are in front of him. One of them is I get the feeling that there's two things. One is he's using his hands to wrap things or put things together. Almost like he's a cook or chef, or he might have been wrapping pot up or something like that. But there's something going on with his hands in front of him. The second thing is I get a feeling that his hands are very meaningful, that he might have played keyboard or something like that. Would any of that make sense to you, please? Okay. Well, I see him with the hands in front of him and they look active. So I don't know what that's about. I didn't really get the full thing I usually like to get, Dad, from people. He's given me a lot of other things, but I want to get one or two more things that have to do with his health. Don't tell me, Keisha, I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to him. All right, honey. Thank you, love. I know you're like chomping at the bit, but in a moment we'll interact a little more. Hold on. Daddy. Oh, smart. Actually, pretty smart. And athletic in his youth. He has a good track record of not using drugs earlier in his life. No, he's pretty clean. Squeaky clean. So earlier in his life, he's kind of clean cut, you know what I mean? And he seems to be pretty athletic. Do you know that about your father, love? Okay, you would agree with that. And then later on, he uses a colloquial term, again, I won't repeat it, but he, changes. So he goes into a different lifestyle. People don't respect him anymore. He loses his self-esteem. He doesn't feel good about himself. Feels lost, alone, and afraid. He also seems to have delusions of grandeur or Walter Mitty thing going on. He doesn't take good care of himself. He loses himself in his dreams. But he says to you, I never really gave up on my dreams. And he says to you, I want you to never give up on your dreams, Keisha. This is very important for you. Very important for you to know that even though I seemed like I was floundering and a fool, it doesn't mean that having dreams is foolish. It just means I got behind the 8 ball and could never get back up. He says, I don't want you to think that having dreams is the thing that got me down. I want you to know having dreams is the thing that kept me going. And I want you to keep your dreams. Don't let your dreams down, girl. Don't let your dreams down. I want you to continue with your dreams. He says to you, you need to hear this right now. You need to hear this now more than ever, because life's getting to you. He says, hold on, there's something interesting here. Life is not a button down mess. It's not a mess. Life is not a mess. I know you said hot mess before, but he's saying button down mess, meaning conservative, holding yourself together, holding it all in. Life's not all about that. Life's about, oh, that's interesting. Life's about living from your heart center and your passion. He says, I want you to continue doing what you're doing and not give up. Not give up. Now, his dream is to be more creative and artistic. And again, I get a feeling of music around him. Would that make sense to you, please? Yes or no? You wouldn't know that. Okay, I guess you feel out of touch. Yeah, well, but you see now what I'm kind of picking up from this, it's a very interesting, love, is that I get messages on a deeper level while the words are coming in. So the deeper level to all of this is that you have dream about your education and your career. And now everything's falling apart. Your health is challenging you. I don't know what the hot mess is, but you didn't pass the bar the first time around and everything else. And you have a patterning from him that he's saying to you, don't, it's because of his example, he feels that you might have a patterning to not think your dreams are important and to not follow on them, and that they're not possible, that dreams aren't possible. So he wants you to know dreams are very possible for you in particular, and to not give up. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Okay. I'm going to, yeah, well, keep up with it. All right, good. Well, he did too. He did too. He had a lot of dreams, but he wants you to know dreams are not impractical. Dreams are very practical. It's not following up on them that's impractical. And that's where his downfall is, because he had a lot of dreams, but they weren't followed up on or whatever. He made a few choices that were very bad for him. Yeah, you wouldn't know this because you weren't in touch with him. He says his back was bothering him towards the end of his life. He could hardly walk, didn't feel good about himself, lost, alone, afraid. I see him, money problems, destitute, not feeling good whatsoever. And I also see, which again, you might not know anything about this, but looks to me like his heart is the final thing that gives way. But more than anything, the will gave way. Very, very sad there towards the end. But he loves you very much. And he says, God is good. He says, God is good and spirit is great. And he loves you. He's in paradise. He sends you love. He sends you roses. He sends you roses for your hair. He loves you so much. Okay, now you can say whatever you need to say, because I know I've been holding you back. Go ahead.
Well, we definitely was,
Oh, okay. Ah. Oh. Right. Yes. Oh, that's so. Oh, well, I'm so sorry for your loss, love. And anyway, Dad's here. He proved himself, and he sends you much love and kisses. Okay, sweetie?
thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Dad. All right, love. Thanks. Okay, love. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to go to the first person who was waiting in the queue, unless I have a donation. I did not see Rochelle anywhere, so I don't know. I don't have any donations other than what I just did. I don't think anybody is in the queue, but let me just, no, Rochelle's not there. Rochelle didn't let me know. So I have to go to the person who's waiting longest in the queue, and that would be Elisa, I believe. Let me just make sure. Yeah, looks like Elisa. Okay, Elisa, go ahead, sweetheart. Give me your question, love. Alyssa, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's my own spelling, you know. Sorry. I guess it's spelled ELYSSA, right? Oh, okay. Sorry about that, love. Go ahead, honey. Give me your question. Okay, and that's Zach, like Z-A-C-K. He's a good guy and good for you. Clean cut, handsome. Hair's a little bit like it's not real dark brown, it's brown, but it looks a little bit lighter. Looks a little bit like he spikes it on top. Would you know that for him, please, Alyssa? Okay, well, I just see it sticking out a little bit on the top. I'll just say it like that. Good looking guy. Very smart, feels good about himself, honest, creative, in almost a genius way. Cares about you somewhat. Now, this is interesting. Cares about you somewhat. But I also feel and see that he thinks about the big world, the big picture a lot, and how everything fits together. You're in his life now. He's not sure if you'll be in it later. Because what I get is this guy's so smart and so creative that he feels like, oh, like a butterfly, like elusive. Alyssa, Alyssa's trying to go for the elusive butterfly, if you will. So it's hard to pin him down, if you will. I feel he has a lot of potential as a human being, and that's one of the reasons why you care about him is because he is so charismatic. He has so many ideas, and he is a big picture kind of guy. So I'm going to try to work through that and come to your answer. But would you understand what I've said so far, Alyssa, please? Okay, let me just say it again. You're not really answering my question, so let me say it a different way. In terms of who he is, he strikes me as a person that's a creative genius, very smart, and has a big world out there. He's thinking it's a big world out there, and he feels elusive to me. So would you know that this person has a lot of potential to become someone? Would you feel that that's the case with him, please? That's what I'm trying to get you to. I need that before I move to my book. Okay, because that makes him so attractive as a human being because he's smart, he's creative, he does like you, he likes you very much. Okay, here's coming the answer. He wants to get involved more with you. So this is what I get, honey, is eventually he will he's working towards getting more involved with you, but his world and your world are different in the following way. Your eyes are looking on him. He's looking at the big world around him as interesting and things he wants to do and creative things he wants to create and all this stuff going on around him. And you're in the picture, but he doesn't only look at you. So it's advisable for you to open your perspective to a bigger picture also and work a little bit more on yourself. What your joy is, I've been yip, 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 yapping about joy. Work on your I sound like a crazy person, right? But work on your own joy, because that will match him and his joy. He seems to be fully throttled in this joy thing, and it's making him very dynamic and exciting human being and individual. And to make yourself the best partner for him, okay, you got to get your mojo going too. And then but in terms of his intention, in terms of where he's going, I see you in his future, and I see an even better compatibility as you awaken to your own magnificence. Make sense? You're welcome, love. God bless. Bye. Thank you, honey. Okay. I am now going to go to Anne, who has a life question. And I can't, for the life of me, figure out. Well, let me go to Anne. Hello, Anne. Hi, honey. So go ahead and give me your question, darling. Oh. Okay, so the name of this person or his initials, please? Okay, first letter of his last name, please. All right, let's go to his energy and see what's going on and how Chris feels about Anne. He does like you. He's given you a lot of signals that he likes you. Well, don't say anything yet, honey. I'm going to give you more information. He's given you signals, but there's an obstacle. An obstacle. I got to find out what it is for you. Yeah. Yes, there's an obstacle there, and I'm going to find out. You might already know what it is. Don't say anything, okay? I just want to get it from spirit. He has another person, or there's somebody between the two of you. That's what's going on. And I feel there's an obligation there with the other person. Do you know about that?
I think I know, but
very serious. And I need to see, because it may not be that he's romantically in love anymore, but it's there and it holds him back. I need to deep into his heart. Chris W. What do you really want, Chris? You can't just leave the other person, he feels. There are obligations there from the past, promises he made, and secrets hold. They hold each other close for reasons that are have nothing to do with compatibility, but more to do with tradition, service, and commitment. Sounds like it could actually be a legal marriage, but I don't feel that he's comfortable leaving it right now for some reason. If you don't know if he's married or not, I'm getting a feeling it's such an obligation that if it's not legal, there's some other reason for holding him there. So does I'm gonna go to that now, sweetie. I'm going to that right now, love. So I want to look again at how he feels about you. Because if I said at the beginning he does like you, but there's a block, and the block is this other person, I want to find out how much he likes you and if this is worth your pursuing. Chris W., how much do you like Anne? Well, he likes you. But I feel that you could end up becoming disappointed because you might give him attention and he'd like all that. But is he going to change his situation? Probably not. So in the end, you're wasting your time. This man's soaking up the love. He's soaking up the attention, but he's not making moves to change his situation. I'm going to look at that last comment one more time. Will Chris W. change his life and remove the other person to be with Anne? Yes or no? Hold on. It takes a lot of courage to do that for him. Hold on. Yes or no? No, not right away. It could take years and it may never happen. So I want you to be careful, Anne, in where you're putting your energy and your time. Because the answer that I'm getting right now is a no. He does like you. He's not going to probably change the situation. So what you could do to test this out, just to make sure if it's correct, is throw him some attention and then see where it goes. If you don't see some results, I would say probably not a good investment of your time and effort. I hope this makes sense to you. Okay, I'm going to say it again, what I just said to you. Say it slowly. I said to throw him some attention, see if you get any kind of response. Just test what I said to you. But the ultimate, if you didn't believe, in other words, if you want to just try, you can try. But what I'm saying is I don't think this man is going to leave the situation he's in. What he will do is use you, enjoy the attention, and never leave that person he's with. That's my prediction. But you can always test it if you want. All right. All right. Thank you. Okay, sweetie. Thank you so much for calling in. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to Brittany, who has a live question. Yes, Brittany, what can Spirit do for you this evening, darling? Oh, great, sweetie. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's awfully nice. So are you calling to see if that's true, if he will cross? What are you? Give me the exact question. Okay, but you just told me that you knew that there was a reason for it. I'm a little confused. Okay. All right. So okay, give me his name. Give me his name, honey. And the first letter of the last name besides Kale. I need the first letter of his last name, honey.
Oh, you said the first letter of his last name?
Yes, please. I have Kale as the first name. H. Okay, so Kale H. Let's see what's going on with Kale H. He's a lovely person. Great guy. Sweet, good nature, good temperament, kind, loving, and caring. Why is he? So I'm going to go to the question, why is he pulling away? And that'll give us everything we need to know. So Kale, honey, why are you pulling away from beautiful Brittany, who you've been so nice to, you have feelings for her and everything else? Why? I like you, he says, I like you very, very much, but you're really, I don't really want to get that involved right now. I have other things on my mind and on my plate. So I say, pretty much I think, this is what I'm hearing, and you maybe didn't hear it this way, but yeah, it has feelings for you, but I think he already told you, this is how it's coming through, that he really can't get involved right now. He can't get involved right now. Okay, so I don't. Well, he's saying, yeah. Well, he's saying to me, or I'm getting a psychic message that he's pretty much already told you this, but if not, if you didn't hear it or whatever, I'll say it again, is that he's really not ready to get involved right now. He can't really put effort in that direction. Even though he likes you very much, he needs to keep his life together. He needs to keep on board with his plans for his future, and keeping it slow or not slow or anything like that would pretty much mean that he's agreed to move into tighter connection with you. He can't agree to tighter connection with you. He's like focused right now on a goal, and that's he's kind of married to his goal, and anything else is just taking energy away. So he can continue to be friends with you, but he can't be a romantic friend right now. Now, could that ever change? Yes. It feels like it's a life goal he has. He's very, very smart. He wants to get ahead in life. I feel his schooling there. He's getting things together in his life. But a romantic relationship would take him out of his peak performance in the other area he's trying to focus on. Now, you and I could say, well, why can't he multitask? But what I'm getting in his mind is he can't. The only thing he can do is go for his goal right now. And you're a nice person. He does care about you, but he can't get involved right now, even if it's slowly. So my recommendation is to keep the friendship going. When you have people like that, it's important to say, yes. The more you say, yes, the closer they get to you. Usually as they come closer. And I kind of get that for him. Let me double check that. KLH. Yeah. So I'm giving you the surface. Are you still there, Brittany, or did you? Oh, Brittany dropped. Okay, I'm going to finish this up for you, Brittany. You might have just gotten knocked off the line. What I'm saying here is that you can keep him in your mind's eye. You can continue to be friends with him. I feel it's fear of getting involved that's holding him back. And so with people like that and with Kale, what you do is you remain their friend, and before you know it, they fall in love and they're in your life. But don't make a big deal out of it. Just let the relationship develop. Don't talk about it that much. Just tell him, okay, we'll just be friends for now. And everything's going to work out well. He's really frightened of being involved. And I told you why, but that's just the surface. The underlying part of it is he's just frightened of being involved. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Is that you, Brittany 818? Oh, no, you weren't 818. Okay. Going to Carrie was a life question. Hey, Carrie. Carrie, yes, I'm here. This is Laura. What is what you want to know if you're on the right path right now, right, honey? Whoa. We got to come up with a succinct question. You're not sure what direction you're going, but you made it like it's too vague. All right, so I'm going to give you something here. Hold on for a second, honey. Karen. All right, so what is the question? Should you move with this person? Is that the question, though? I think that's what it is. All right. Give me the initials of that. All right, give me the initials. JP. All right, love. Hold on for a second. Should she move with JP? I'm going to start with a very simple question, and everything comes from there. Not to worry. Should Carrie move with JP rather than alone? Yes or no? It is a big risk. Yeah, it is a good idea, actually. This person is a very kind and loving individual who would take very good care of you in the long run, would not disappoint you, and would be very easy to get along with. So the answer is yes, this would work out for you. There's also something else. Hold on. It's not really what you think it is. In other words, you're a little bit fearful that this person is coming on very strong, but it's not like that. It's more sincere than you realize. There's a lot of depth there, a lot of understanding, a lot of companionship, and a lot of love. So it's unexpected, indeed. But it is to be expected. In other words, you weren't expecting it, but Spirit is saying it was on your, right? But Spirit is saying it's on your life path. And they also say, you know what we mean. In other words, you're deserving of this. You've waited a while. It is on your path to meet this person. And it's just that you didn't meet that person earlier. So here that person comes in at a transition time in your life, which is a good time actually to interject a new relationship. And you will get along very well with this person, and there is a good future ahead for both of you. So the answer is yes, it's a good idea to move with this person, and that you would not be disappointed, and that you can have more faith and trust in the situation than you thought. Okay?
Thank you very much. That really confirmed.
All right, darling. So, I mean, as I say these things, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not saying it, Spirit's saying it through me, by the way, but I'm thinking, geez, if I were Carrie, I would just take it a little slow. But Spirit is saying, go ahead with this. It's very, very good. It's everything that this person is saying it is. Okay? Yeah, yeah. Well, my sincere pleasure, Carrie. Have a beautiful evening, honey. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to go to some callers that have been waiting a long time and that I was not able to pre-screen. The first one is at 352, area code. Hello, hello, area code 352. Do you have a name? Yes, your name is Cindy? Okay, Cindy. And do you have a question for Spirit? All right. Oh boy, you're needing money right away. All right, and all right, honey. Give me the initials of the employer, please. I just need one of them, or the name of the business, something like that. I'll just go with VB. It just helps me get a vibrational match. VB and MJ. Yes, they will pay you back in due time. I'll get the time now. Hold on. Might be a little detained, but not much. It's probably going to be about 4 weeks. So your intuition is correct that you feel a lot of anxiety here because you need it at a certain time. And so this is what you need to do. We need to work on this energetically right now, Cindy, you and I. When we have a lot of fear about something, we tend to screw everything up. We don't mean to, but the universe doesn't work with us, you see. So what I want you to do, and we could do some of it right now, is we need to make a prayer from the heart that the money come to us in perfect way at the perfect time for highest good of all. We'll do some affirmative prayer. So I'm going to say the prayer for you. It's being recorded. You can always listen back and say it again on your own. But dear God, please grant Cindy the back pay that's owed her from her former employees within 3 weeks for highest good and benefit of all. Amen. We can also say it another way. Rather than for 3 weeks, we say in the perfect timing to pay her bills. In perfect timing to pay her bills in perfect way. Because there's always an opportunity in the universe to perhaps get money from somewhere else. Never know. And as I say those words, I do feel that somebody will be there to help you pay your bills in 3 weeks. If it's not that check exactly, there will be another thing coming in for you. So I want you to just whistle a happy tune about this, continue to affirm, and continue to say the prayer, and you will find everything will work out for you, darling. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Cindy. God bless, love. Bye-bye, honey. Bye.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. Bye-bye. Okay, I want to remind everybody, if you'd like a private session with me, go to booklaura.com. And if you place in the event code field radio show, you will obtain a third more time free. Thank you all for listening. I look forward to working with you again next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye.
Blog Talk Radio.